Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Buffy, where I'll be talking about and reviewing all the episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in order. Today, I'm looking at Season 6, Episode 11, Gone. We begin the episode with Buffy and Dawn clearing out all of Willow's magic stuff, which includes a statue that belonged to Joyce. And when Buffy finds Spike's lighter, that gets chucked too. Warren sticks that diamond they stole into a nerdy-looking ray gun that makes a chair disappear and then reappear again.
You penis!
And into the credits we go. Buffy and her wig checks up on Willow, who Dawn is mad at, and Buffy admits she wasn't taking enough notice when Spike rushes in looking for his lighter, so Willow makes herself scarce, and it's all very awkward and weird. Spike compliments Buffy's hair when Xander walks in on them, so everyone scatters, and in the process of shipping Moody Dawn off to school, social services turns up, with Buffy apparently forgetting what day it is. Spike is lurking about until Buffy mentions who the woman is, and he tries to be helpful before Buffy kicks him out, and things get worse when she mentions Willow living in the house, and the woman discovers one of the magic bags.
It's magic weed.
Buffy tries to stop her leaving, but she says Dawn's welfare should come first, and if things don't improve, Dawn will be taken away from her. So now's not a good time, Spike, sod off. Pushed to her limit, Buffy takes scissors to her hair and then goes to a hairdresser to get it sorted properly, while the trio whip out their ray gun, but spot Buffy, so Jonathan and Andrew fight over the gun, causing it to go off and make Buffy invisible, along with several other items. Xander and Anya are discussing seating arrangements when the door opens and Buffy comes in unseen, talking to them both, and we get a nice callback to Season 1's Marcy Ross.
Have you been feeling ignored lately?
She says she doesn't know what happened and describes her haircut to Anya before explaining about the social services lady, and we get an infinitely less creepy version of that scene from Angel. Xander says they need to work out how to change her back, but Buffy's having a lot of fun and goes for a walk, leaving Anya to think it may be a spell gone wrong and Xander to suspect Willow. He goes to see her and accuse her, but she says she didn't do it and storms off mad, while Warren tries to fix the gun and they worry about the consequences.
In my book, an invisible slayer means a whole world of trouble.
Buffy steals some woman's hat and then a traffic warden's buggy, driving it to social services where she freaks Doris out by repeatedly moving her mug around and telling her to kill everyone. Buffy raids her files and uses her computer, although you can see the strings moving the keys. So when her boss checks the files, it's full of nonsense, which Doris blames on the voice she heard, so her cases are taken off her and Buffy goes out whistling, going through the motions. Xander meets Willow at the site of Buffy's disappearance, where she points out some tread marks and has some paint scrapings, so plans to investigate the van that Buffy's been seeing, and sends Xander off with a traffic cone as a souvenir, while Buffy goes into Spike's crypt, weirds him out and does that to him. Anya touches the traffic cone, which disintegrates, so Xander says they need to warn Buffy.
If we don't figure out how this was done.
She's pudding?
And at the same time, Warren comes to the same conclusion, which Jonathan and Andrew are furious about and stand up to him. Xander goes to Spike's crypt, which is pretty wrecked, and walks in on him apparently exercising and tells him of the situation, and afterwards, Spike accuses Buffy of only being with him because she can't be seen, and they get into a little argument where Buffy is kicked out, so she rants for a while before going home and showing her new powers to Dawn, who is super stroppy. She gets a voicemail from Xander warning her about the side effects, while Willow tracks down the van and snoops around Warren's basement, where she finds evidence of what the trio have been up to, but she is abducted, so Jonathan calls Buffy to negotiate the terms of a safe release. They meet at the arcade where Jonathan and Andrew are distracted by video games, and Warren tries to use the gun to kill Buffy, but Willow warns her in time and a big invisible fight breaks out, clearing the arcade, except for these guys, and Willow uses the gun to reveal each of the losers in turn, who claim to be Buffy's arch nemesis, and flee. Willow explains she found the van the non-magic way, and they sit down and have a heart-to-heart about how hard their lives have become, although for the first time since her resurrection, Buffy admits she didn't want to die. Okay, Willow is better in this one, but Dawn is so much worse. Dawn in this episode is how I misremembered Dawn being the entire show, so it makes it even more jarring when she's unbearable like she is here. You know how I feel about Buffy and Spike's relationship. They're both using each other and it's toxic as hell, so any time spent on it is a hot mess in my book. So let's move on to the positives. This is the first time since Buffy's resurrection that she's actually having fun. It's nice to see, or to hear. Season 5 and 6 have been quite serious, especially for Buffy, and outside of the Buffy bot, we haven't had much fun. So it's nice to have a moment of brevity for Buffy, and for her to let go, even for a little while. This show loves parallels, so after the besties have been oblivious to each other's problems, they finally sit down and realise they're both suffering, and it's a nice little heart-to-heart. This episode gives us a big old warning about Warren compared to the other two. Jonathan and Andrew just want to be Scooby-Doo-esque supervillains, but Warren wants to kill, and the others aren't going to be able to stop him. You know who I feel sorry for in all this? Doris. She was just doing her job and trying to do what's best for Dawn, but we're supposed to root for Buffy messing up her life? That's sad. Justice for Doris! No deaths to count, so we stay at 2 humans, 19 vampires, and 15 demons. So there you have it. That was Gone. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot. Or consider subscribing if you want to be sired by my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and don't let the vampires bite.